going today, Whiskey? How's it going? Nice windy day, of course, today. Going across the snow, making it cold. I might have to get my microphone issue straightened out because obviously it's windy almost every day anymore. Anyways, I'd like to say we're doing good over here, but we're not. Nothing's good, right? Nothing in this world. But anyways, Whiskey and I going on our walk. Just gonna share a few thoughts today. Mainly, I want to make a little point about this. Get back at this Ohio trying to get rid of their property tax. Show you just how stupid the government treats us and acts like we are. So we'll get to that in a minute here. And in the meantime, give a shout out. I had a couple. I have several friends sending me stuff, which I appreciate. I gotta get caught up on stuff. All of this is good stuff to make interesting content, and so. Hopefully I get caught up and get one of those things is I'll show a little picture here that our friend Bubs shared with me, asking a good question, and of course he knows he sent it to me to give me an idea for some content, and which is good because I want to get on to, I've said that several times, issues about the Second Amendment. I'm not well versed on the Second Amendment issues. As far as I'm concerned, we have a right to keep and bear arms that shall not be infringed, and that's the way I see it, right? Shall not be infringed means I can own whatever the hell I want. But show you this picture here, right? See this? Two guns exactly the same. And the interesting thing is, as Bubs pointed out, we're going to do a more in-depth video on this. I'm research it some more. To do a proper video about it. What they're doing with it is a little bit relevant to the other point I'm going to make. So I want to share that for a minute. Like, if you look, the guns are exactly the same, right? You're not going to find the difference, I don't believe. And the thing is, one is perfectly legal to own, and the other one is a felony, and it gets you like $250,000 fine and 10 years in prison, right? And this is how the government gets you. I think in the long run, it's going to be a play. It's going to turn around. They'll find a way to take more rights away. We'll get to that later, but it's interesting, ain't it? This is how stupid these laws are. It's the exact same gun. The only difference is the one originally, I believe, don't quote me on all this. I'm not trying to put all the facts about that today, right? But I think he said the one is originally had a stock, and the other one is made exactly the way you see it, right? So the only difference is the one was almost the same gun, had a stock, somebody modified it, right? That makes it illegal, and that's bullshit. It's the exact same gun otherwise. But keep that in mind as we go forward, and I appreciate you sending that to me, Bubs, and I will, after I get some other things caught up, try to dedicate a video to that subject, more well thought out with facts and stuff. But and then otherwise, what we got going on now, we're hearing yet again. I gotta tell you, I'm feeling pretty damn smart. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or nothing like that, right? But for generations, all the people act like they're smarter than you, and they overall always seem like they're pretty damn smart. couldn't believe a damn word you're saying. It turns out almost everything I've tried to say has turned out to be true. I've been right on a whole lot of things. Kurt Cobain's one of them, right? Me and that hits home as a Generation Xer. Me and my friend Tater, he sent me several things I want to try to do some content on too. So shout out to you. But him and I were like, in this area, honestly, the biggest Nirvana fans they're in this area. That's no lie, in Northwest Ohio. That's not exaggerating. We were the ones turning everyone on to them. Everyone, oh, check this out. And people, and of course, it hit with a lot of people, right? But that was our thing. And so it hit pretty hard the day, for our generation, that was the day the music died. They do this to every generation, right? They'll find a big star that's well liked out of every generation, and they, one way or another, usually off themselves or overdose on drugs, supposedly. But so now we have news coming out. So now we have news coming out, right, confirming that Kurt Cobain was murdered, right? He did not do it himself, which some of us, we knew that all along, right? And as I said, me and my friend Tater, within a day or two, we started feeling like that. We just couldn't believe it, right? Well, then I ran my website, which, as I mentioned from time to time, it was a pretty big site. It was well respected and stuff like that in its time. And I dedicated a lot of research on my own to the whole subject and had a series of articles detailing how it's most likely that he didn't do it and that Courtney Love was most likely in the know, at least, right? Well, wouldn't you know it, now there's news coming out saying something along the lines they're going to reopen the investigation, and that it was it's believed to be a murder case, right? Of course it is. We'll get more into that later, but I just want to, anyone that's not aware of that, that is the update for that after all these years. And we'll see how it plays out. Maybe I'll do a video looking more into it. I no longer have the article I wrote years ago, but we'll get into it later. I just want to say it's one reason you should take your conspiracy nut friends a little more serious and consider that maybe they're just trying to lead you in the right direction, right? That's my goal, right? To point us all into the right direction toward God, as it should be. As we're seeing, this world has led more and more into, and we're being led completely. We're the ones feeding them. We're the ones paying them. Money, the root of all evil, right? Well, how true is that? All of these people, and I caution everyone to consider the people around you now. I don't care even if they are poor, because this is what I keep saying, they're normalizing this whole nonsense. We're at a breaking point here, and a point where God's fed up. Look through all of history, watch it. I mean, check it out. When God sends his judgment is when enough is enough, right? For each nation, it's when they decide to start following other gods, and he even lets it, he waits it until these people are sick enough to take it to the point that don't even make sense. When you're sacrificing babies, when you're eating human flesh, when you're, worshiping, whatever, using your soul connection of your sexual activities to abuse it for satanic purposes, right? It's all out in the open now, and it's worldwide. We've been warned about this stuff, and you got to choose your side, right? But what I'm saying is they're throwing all these hideous acts out to us, letting us know what was there, and nothing's going to be done about it, right? I see it all over the place, all kinds of thumbnails, all these channels cashing in on it because everybody wants to believe we're at some great awakening here, right? And and something's going to be done about it, and a great change is coming. A great change is coming. A great disastrous change, and we've been warned about it. Okay? And all this stuff is out in the open, and they're feeding it to us, and they're normalizing it, is what we don't understand. I assure you. Not, right? Because all these thumbnails, all these channels, they're cashing in with all these views, saying, oh, it's all crashing down. WEF, the globalist plan is all crashing down. It's burning down all around them. Nobody's accepting it. And this is a lie. Okay, we're not accepting it through our words, right? But through our actions, we're still showing up to work every day. We're still paying our taxes. We're still supporting the beast. We're still feeding it, right? And none of these people are in jail. None of these people are hanging. None of these people have met the consequences of their actions. And therefore, that is going to cause it to be normalized. When people get away with these things at the highest levels, soon enough, it becomes a normal thing. Look at all the stuff that's going, all the crazy nonsense. And I caution people on the left, because you want to think that it's okay for this and that activity that you want to say is okay all these years, right? All this dressing as women and stuff like that. Well, the same people, the same Satan behind that is the same one behind this other stuff you don't want to be for. They all answer to the same devil, right? They worship Baal. And that's the truth. That's the facts. And if you watch through history, soon enough, it becomes an accepted practice, right? Look what's happened. All this, how the left got way out of control with all this stuff. Well, because over the years, it became acceptable practice to be like the same, for a man to like a man, love a man, disgusting. For a man to be with a man, right? A woman to be with a woman. For a man to dress as a woman. For abortion. All these things, secretly, one at a time, until, well, that's a preference, and that's a matter of choice. And it never was a matter of, no, God condemns this, and we as a nation cannot allow it, or we will face judgment. We don't understand it, and the judgment's coming. And which side are you on, right? But through all the years, and there was people then, at a time that stuff was unacceptable. Well, they were forced to accept it. Well, now here we are now. This is happening. Now you got people in high places throwing out their sick, disgusting actions, and they're starting to make heroes out of sick, disgusting people who should be burned alive in front of us. Right? But they're now making heroes out of people, making you, in one way or another, start to consider, just put these thoughts in your head. It's just not right. It's going to become normal if nothing is done about it. Something has to be done about it, right? These people need to be held accountable. They need to be used as an example for anyone who might dare try it again. right? But we're not going to do that. But just consider it. But let's make the full point for today. Here in Ohio, we have the thing I said about in my last video, one of my previous videos. I don't know, they're bunched up here. But we have a move to eliminate property tax. And now the government is going all over the place trying to get people to get off that idea, right? Trying to make them afraid of it because of this reason and that reason, all this shit, right? Well, what are the facts? I mean, let's consider some of the shit they're using. One of the things they're using, I wanted to hit on this, should have maybe done it as a reaction video or something, right? But one of the things they used, I think it was DeWine, saying, like, we'll say Walmart, for example. That is the example he used. He says, do you think, like, Walmart in Pennsylvania compared to Walmart in Ohio, that Walmart in Ohio is going to have cheaper prices because you didn't make them pay property tax? They're twisting it up on us, right? Making it sound like that's the important issue. Let's consider the important issue is residents are sick and tired of paying property tax for their homes that they own. Personal property, right? We need to understand this because consider this. We got a lot of people that they'll say, oh, I don't know what term to use properly, right? The free man movement, right? Oh, you're a nutcase if you think you have the right to drive without a driver's license. All this shit, you see it, right? And it's true. You have the right to travel, and you don't need a license to have that right. It's not a right. It's not, you don't turn 18 and now they say, oh, here's the rights you've earned in life. You are born with these rights, period, right? You have that right to travel. Automatically, you're born with that right, the right to move about, right? My vehicle is my property, right? All these cars parked out through here are all people's personal cars. They're not commercial vehicles. And the issue with a driver's license is it has to be a commercial vehicle. That's what we don't understand, okay? All of the laws, we can get more in depth in this later, but people hear this and they act like you're crazy. I assure you, you're disgusting Cash Patel and Pam Bondi. I know more about the law than them. And maybe you do as well, right? They are nothing but plants, and they need to be held every bit responsible because they refuse to do what's right. You know, we got some people, oh, well, you know, they put their lives on the line if they would out these people. Well, I'm sorry, that's a job you took. That's what God expects. You to out the people. You to make the people pay that are guilty. Make the sinners pay. And you don't want to bring them to justice, then you should pay the same price with them, right? So I don't care if your life should be on the line one way or another. They might get rid of her or him or any of them for outing them. So what? Sorry, that's a good way to die. If you ask me. Otherwise, what? You spared your life to burn in hell? Okay, whatever. Let's not get off track here too much. But this is what commercial, let's understand this, commercial law. Most of the laws we are being enslaved by all around us is commercial law, UCC, right? The driver's license is a commercial issue. And that applies to commercial operating, right? Anybody operating for profit, right? If I'm a truck driver, I need a driver's license. If I'm a UPS driver, I need a driver's license. If I'm delivering pizzas, I need a driver's license. But if I'm taking myself from here to there at my own pleasure, leisure, that's my right. And I don't have to register anything I own, right? But people don't want to understand that. Oh, the truth is, and the courts know it, and this is the truth. Now let's consider that. Get back to Mr. DeWine. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet here. About this whole property tax issue. tax also is much the same way, right? We are being enslaved by commercial laws, commercial rules that apply to commercial entities, not human beings. Human beings have rights. Commercial entities have to abide by laws and rules to respect the rights of the human beings. This is what we don't understand. And they're trying to fight, this is what the Matrix actually is. They're trying to bring you into their realm. Why on your court papers it says, by appearance, I make special appearance, and all your name is in capital letters. All of that is because that is a made-up entity that they created for you to operate in their realm. So they can bring you into the court, into a commercial court, and now they have a commercial entity, the all caps name, and they brought you in as special appearance to represent that name. And now you are entrapped under their rules. This is how it works. We can get a little more in depth than that, but we can get into that later. This is the truth. That's the facts. Much the same as your taxes. They don't have a right to tax you for the money you earn through your labor. Oh, we got something going on here. Whiskey's sniffing out. I taught him to sniff out pedals, right? Oh, I don't know. He's hitting this building pretty hard. How many people inside this building behind me do you suppose are sacrificing lives, eating human flesh, inappropriately handling children? Oh, I'm sure it is, right? And we're about to pass the building that emphasizes all that. So your tax, this is the truth, okay? They're not supposed to be, you have no business paying tax, paying the man a percentage of the money you earn through your hard labor. This is all legit, okay? But nobody wants to admit it. And then comes commercial law that says commercial entities have to pay tax, right? No, not today. Whenever I put the camera on him, he won't. Otherwise, he pisses on that cornerstone. They deserve it, right? They're the ones that are conducting the business that you're hearing about come out in the Epstein files. I assure you, if you have one of those buildings in your town, you do in your county somewhere, the people that are members of that are connected to all this shit. This is how deep it goes, right? So your commercial entities, now commercial law comes around, commercial entities have to pay taxes. You are a made-up entity. You're not real. You're here for the purpose of conducting business, right? Therefore, you must pay taxes. So let's consider DeWine's statement again. If you got rid of taxes, you think your price at Walmart is going to go down? First of all, it's not about eliminating property tax. Our reason is not to make the price in Walmart go down, right? It's so we can afford to live and we're not paying ransom on our own property that we already own. But secondly, if the government's doing their job properly, which they're not going to, right? I assure you they're not going to award it this way. But if they're doing their job properly and that gets on the ballot and then wins, the proper way to word that is that commercial entities, such as his example of Walmart, is not exempt from paying taxes on their property, right? That this property tax, abolishing of property tax applies to the people. Right? We are the ones that are not supposed to be paying the taxes. The businesses are. That's my point I want to make about that. Otherwise, they word this stuff and we don't catch it, right? And so they think they get away with it. Well, they've already worded it. It was your fault for not catching it. Oh, no one, first of all, Mr. DeWine, no one said to cut property taxes for Walmart or any other freaking commercial business. It's the whole point. These commercial laws apply to them. In fact, we don't even need to abolish property tax. We need to just get the understanding that you and I, everyday people, have no business paying taxes. And that government has no business even attempting to try to get you to do so. And so the thing is many of us don't realize that, and we're not even going to catch on to it. And Ohio's going to pay a price one way or another. They're going to screw us on this whole issue, right? And so to get back to my thing is, so take the gun example I talked about in the very beginning, and now these are all, everything I'm talking about is all examples about how these smug pricks who are supposed to answer to you think they are above you, and they think you are too stupid to realize the game they are playing, right? And they for sure are playing this game against us. This ain't a slip up. DeWine's a lawyer. He knows exactly. He knows this. You won't never get him to admit it, but he knows it. He knows damn well that really there's even no need to put something on the ballot about it. That the fact is, you and I have no business paying taxes to begin with. And they have no business threatening you to do so. But they keep us tied up, twisted up against each other on all these issues. You take like the, what is it, Protect America Act, or what is Save America Act, whatever, I don't got it correct. But it's about the whole voter ID thing, right? I mean, I got to tell you, honestly, I don't care. Have voter ID. I don't care. It's not an issue for me. It's not a constitutional issue for me as far as I'm concerned. If you want to make someone show their ID to participate in the system, then by all means, right? Because that system requires you to have ID anyways. I don't care about that, okay? You don't have a right to force me to ID just because I'm driving a vehicle, right? Operating a vehicle, whatever. Traveling in my personal vehicle. But for me that's operating on my terms, in my freedom, right? In my realm. But for me to operate in your realm, to vote in your system, well, by all means, I need a ID to vote. End of discussion right there, right? Otherwise, we just need to wake up to the times we're in and understand, right? Don't go through the door they're trying to push you through. Stay over here on this side with me, right? A lot of people we're gonna lose along the way. I've already started seeing it happen, right? And you'll start to see them give themselves over to sinful ways, wrongful ways. You start to see it in their eyes. They'll darken over, all kinds of stuff, right? But it's happening all around us now. And they're trying to suck us into this system and fool us, deceive us on every level. Every step of the way they're deceiving us, making you feel like this bad person is on your side against this other bad person, right? Evil is taking over. It's evil continually, and we're not shutting it out. We got to exit from this system. Anyways, just thought we'd share that with you on our walk. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Whiskey and I, we appreciate it very much. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments. For that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.